Joy Taylor, what did Lamar Jackson prove in the win?
One, that his MVP is super valid. And I know that we talk about MVPs in the postseason and how much does it matter. It's a regular season award. But we do like to see the MVP of the league have success in the postseason. And we didn't see that with Lamar so far, even though he had a unanimous MVP. Of course, we're assuming that he's going to win the MVP. He's going to win the MVP. So he will have 2 MVPs, and now the MVP will be in the AFC Championship game. So that's special. But I also got to thinking, I think it really validates running quarterbacks in a lot of ways, too. We've had some conversations about where we put running quarterbacks and how we look at stats. Do we count rushing yards when we list quarterback stats? Because we usually don't. We just do how many passing touchdowns do they have, how many passing yards do they have. Last year, you had a running quarterback in Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. This year, you have a running quarterback in Lamar Jackson in the AFC Championship game. I think it's time we start adjusting how we talk about quarterbacks, particularly quarterbacks that we know have the ability to use their legs to influence a game. Why do we not count rushing touchdowns when we're talking about a player's total touchdowns? Do they count for less points?
No.
No. Does it count for less if you throw for 3 yards for a passing touchdown or you run 3 yards for a passing touchdown?
All the same.
Or for a running touchdown? It's all the same. The running yards also count. They also move you down the field. So when you're talking about players like Lamar Jackson that are elite at both throwing the ball and running the ball, and it is actually showing in the postseason because they are in the AFC Championship game, I think we have to adjust how we talk about it. And him making it to the AFC Championship game, because a lot of people have a lot of critiques about his style of play. And if it does work, it does work. And we're seeing that. And there's a reason why that shift has happened in the game. So I think that this win was very influential, not just because, obviously, his legacy and getting a win in the postseason and getting to the AFC Championship game with 2 MVPs. But that part of it, to me, is really important. His style of play does work.
2-5, what Lamar proving to win?
Nothing. I told you that this game wouldn't be close, right? Playing the Texans at home in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, who's been playing phenomenal football. And they got the best defense in football by a long shot, right? So he didn't prove me nothing. I always thought Lamar was a hell of a player. I always thought that the Ravens team was the real deal. Once they went up to San Francisco and did what they did to them, I thought, yeah, it's no-brainer. Now, this game's going to mean something to me, though. He beat Patrick Mahomes, that's going to mean something to me. He beat Josh Allen, that means something to me. I just think that when I look at this Ravens team, I mean, I know Lamar gets a lot of credit, and he deserves a lot of it. But this is a well-organized and ran team. They're coached very well. On defense, just imagine this. You watch the Texans, they played the Browns, right, at home, and they was balling against that defense, right? You come to the Ravens, you come to Baltimore, they couldn't get in the red zone. They couldn't even find it. Yo, I've been looking for 4 quarters for this red zone. Where's it at? They couldn't find it.
I heard it was red.
Yeah, I heard it was red. And they say it's somewhere down there. But I don't know where the hell that thing's at. So there's knowing that, like, yo, this team is legit. And if Lamar Jackson cannot go to Super Bowl with this team, and you did all this rapping earlier today, I don't know what we're going to say about him. Because he is that good. Right. Now you got 2 MVPs. He's super talented. And he's super confident now. You can see the way he move around, he's confident. Yep. I think in the years, in the past, he was just really, really good. Now he know he's really, really good. Yeah. Yo, coach, relax. I got this. Yep. Action Jackson, don't trip. So going forward, I need to see him beat Patty, right? Because nobody's really beaten Pat. That's what's been happening. So to show us that, I can answer that question. But for this week, I mean, I'll put money on him.
It's interesting. To me, it validated the switch of offensive coordinators. And I love Greg Roman more than anybody on this desk. I love Greg Roman. Had to go up against Greg Roman's offenses. I think Greg Roman does a phenomenal job elevating his quarterbacks. Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, Tyrod Taylor, Lamar Jackson. I think he does a great job. But they switched OCs. Yeah. So I'm sitting here looking like, Lamar, you haven't looked better than you looked under Greg Roman. Your team has looked as good as it looked under Greg Roman, but the offense don't look as good. But now he went from having, going into the game, 4 touchdowns, 7 turnovers in his playoff career, to 8 touchdowns, 7 turnovers in his playoff career. So if nothing else, at a minimum, it validated the switch. Yeah. You've gotten further than you've ever gone. Now, I do agree with you, Shady, in the fact that, well, the Texans are supposed to beat them. But I remember 2020, or maybe it was 2019, they were supposed to beat the Titans, and they lost 28-12. So I've seen Lamar Jackson play teams that he's supposed to beat in the playoffs and still catch an L. So at a minimum, it validated the switch of OCs. What Joy said is very interesting. I'm interested to talk about that. I don't think we'll have time today. But it's been a lot. James, where you stand?
I mean, what it proved to me, number one, just watching it, it was very, 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 very impressive because he won. No, what it proved to me is Lamar Jackson knows exactly who this team is. And it proved to me the growth of Lamar. You just touched on them 7 picks, 8 fewer interceptions,
7 turnovers,
right?
yep.
7 turnovers, fewer interceptions. But as I was watching the game, they started off slow. And he never took them chances, right? He stayed the course. And for me, that was the development of Lamar Jackson, the trust in your defense. Like you said, they ain't never see the red zone. But understand, listen, we've been playing like this all year long, stay the course. Just because it's the playoffs, I don't got to be something that I'm not right now. And that's what it proved to me, the growth of him, losing in the playoffs, coming into this game, knowing you started off slow, he still said, I'm going to be Lamar. I'm going to take what's there with my legs. I'm going to throw the football to my receivers when they are open, but I'm not going to take any of these chances to put my team in a bad situation. And it was fun to watch because I seen him grow from that standpoint.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.